I have to know why you guys are all excited for Star Wars Outlaws. Because truthfully, I'm really disappointed. We could have had Star Wars Battlefront 3, but, here we are with another original trilogy game that, truthfully, I don't know who asked for. People keep on saying it's like the GTA 5 of Star Wars, and that's gonna be so great and all this and that. Like, yes, I watched the trailer and it does seem like a new Star Wars experience, and it does seem interesting in some aspect. But truthfully, I just am still disappointed that EA cut support for Battlefront 2 because that was a great game that tons of people were playing, and they haven't given us any sort of new Star Wars multiplayer experience since 2017. Guys, it's been 6 years since the last multiplayer Star Wars game has come out. When you have more people going to stinking Fortnite for Star Wars content, then that's kinda sad on your guys' part, EA. And just the whole contract deal and everything that LucasArts set up. And hey, maybe I could be completely wrong on that. Truth be told, I'm just really disappointed that it's just another single player experience. And I love single player games. I love playing Fallout New Vegas. I love the Jedi Survivor series. Games like Dishonored are like my bread and butter. But you can't just leave us hanging for so long without an actual multiplayer experience. One of the things I used to look forward to the most was coming back from school and going on and hopping on Battlefront 2 and just enjoying my time and getting lost in immersion and having a good time playing heroes versus villains, galactic conquest, supremacy, co-op, and the Starfighter battle. Like, yeah, Star Wars Squadrons was fun, but it honestly just feels like they're trolling us when it comes to Clone Wars content and the prequels in general. There are no games that have come out in the last, 6 years for sure, because Battlefront 2 technically had prequels content in it to stuff, and they did bring more in it, but it's just been nothing but original trilogy and sequel trilogy when the sequel movies came out for just so many years now, and we are just starving for Clone Wars content and prequel content. And imagine an open world game set in the Clone Wars era. Heck, if they had like a single player Anakin and Obi-Wan game, that would make me happy. I mean, yes, everyone's craving a multiplayer Star Wars game, but that would be completely awesome as well. Something that tells its own independent story, kind of like how the books go, but will still tie into the overall universe. Or heck, maybe do a Mortal Kombat or Injustice 2 style Star Wars game, kind of like the 2-player mode that they had in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. But genuinely, I just don't know who's excited for prequel content, because that stuff sucked, and I've tried to stay as positive as possible about it. The facts is that they just didn't know what they were doing, and truth be told, it just doesn't seem like they really know what they're doing with Star Wars games in general. It just feels like it's been so long since a company's genuinely put effort into a good multiplayer Star Wars game. Because Battlefront 2 at its launch was a complete mess, and was nothing but EA being greedy. Like, that was seriously like the height of money scandals and the gambling and loot boxes and just all that stuff. And I know this game is being published by LucasArts and not EA because their contract is up, and Jedi Survivor was made by Respawn Entertainment. But now that all these companies are able to work and actually produce Star Wars content, I feel like it makes sense why there's not a Battlefront 3 yet, but it has to be in production soon. It has to be. That is like the #1 Star Wars game that literally everyone underneath the sun has been requesting for. The legendary mythical Battlefront 3 that didn't come out originally. With the original Battlefront 2, the closest thing that we ended up getting to a Battlefront 3 were the PSP editions, where you could finally do ground-to-air space combat. Gameplay mechanics like that genuinely push the series and Star Wars games to the next level. And truth be told, we haven't seen anything like that since. And I really hope that they eventually finally break back into that boundary that they were breaking into back in 2007 and 2008. when we were absolutely robbed of the original Battlefront 3. I'm going to stay optimistic for Star Wars Outlaws, but overall I'm just still a bit bitter over not having a multiplayer Star Wars game and yet another single-player Star Wars game being announced. Go on ahead and like and subscribe and check out our other content if you guys are interested in sticking around. We would really love to have you here, and check out our Star Wars Jedi Survivor playlist. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.